Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. Today we got a fun little treat in the mail. This is one of Sembo Blocks blind packaged MoShow model kits, or buildable figures. These ones weren't the model kits. I did show one of the Sembo mechs based on a Cang Dao design. I don't have them with me at the moment because it's at work, but this actually preceded it. You'll notice this is Series 2. Series 1 were basically, if I remember correctly, the same exact models, but a lot less paint apps. These are supposed to be much more in line with the actual figures, and so I feel like they're kind of moving away from the blind pack stuff and more into honest-to-goodness kits at this point. But we're seeing, you know, a mix and a lot of interesting things coming out of China in terms of, you know, robots, model kits, mecha designs, and if you haven't noticed on this channel, I'm all here for it. So we do have a couple of the same figures, but with just different paint apps. And you can see the rarity possibilities on a lot of these. Of interest is the Lancelot of the Lake, which is actually getting a collaboration with Iron Saga, which is a 2D mecha game that's been around for a while now on the mobile scene, and actually is getting its own model kits from the very same Sembo block in the very near future. So you can see here it has kind of the proprietary style kind of frame inside it, and then you are going to build everything on top of it. I haven't opened these yet, so I have no idea what I'm getting. And it's going to be a surprise, obviously. Let's see. This probably tells us, oh, did I get a nice one? That looks like Lancelot itself. I do have another one right here. We're going to take a look at that as well. So you can see you do actually have to build these figures and finally finish up. So he comes with his lance and the shield. And you can see here a quick breakdown of how the frame goes together. Let's see what's in this one. I only grabbed 2 for this time. Oh, well, we've got samurai swords, so that's a sign. Did we get the rare Shingen model? Ooh. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's the Lancelot we got. And there's the Shingen model. That'd be pretty funny if I get this version. We'll see. 1 out of every 720. Yeah, that's not the best odds. Alright, let's take a look at these actual figures. Well, as you can see, oh, it's interesting that they have the pieces already pre-painted, pre-printed with designs on them. A cool, if unexpected, touch. I'm not sure which rarity this figure is. But like I said, they are actual honest-to-goodness kits, or at least some sort of a hybrid between both a Lego model and a traditional figure kit. But as you can see, there's a bit of work going to be had here. So if you don't mind putting these together, I mean, I think these were like maybe not even $10. So to me, that's money well spent. Definitely within impulse range. Finding these in the States is a challenge. I haven't seen much in the way of Sembo stuff, at least from sellers on the various sites that aren't looking to rip people off. These are going to be smaller and less detailed in terms of kit building than the more later stuff. Picking that one up because I'm curious to see what the Shingen looks like. Oh, cool. He's got the stuff to build his axe. Alright, so yeah, it's definitely that version. I'm going to guess this is a nice shiny one versus that. I have no clue. But again, you can see here that they are all kind of pre-printed. Pre-painted, however you want to call it. I'm looking for the face. Haven't come across that yet. Definitely nicer than some of the other ones that I've seen. I was going to do a video on like these guys. These are the Honor of Kings mechs made by a different company, but they are very rubbery and prone to falling apart and way not as exciting as, like I said, an actual honest to goodness kit here. So I'm really looking forward to this. And if you want to see how they turn out, well, you know the drill. Sit tight and we'll see how things turn out. Alright, we got Lancelot and Shingen all put together here. I gotta say, I feel like I say that all the time, but it's a pretty solid figure. I mean, it's, well, as I knock the shield off there, sure, there may not be a whole lot of colors involved there. I can't see if that's supposed to say something. It looks like gibberish, but that's okay. I don't think the MoShow figure is gibberish laden itself. That probably has some kind of actual word sculpted on there. Maybe it's supposed to be Gaelic. I don't know. Or Old English. I mean, you know, in terms of like posability and stuff, everything is pretty solid. You got a lot of movability, a lot of joint. You know, some of the joints are a little bit blocked by things like the shoulder pads and the shield, but overall, it's pretty dang solid. I mean, there's not tons of options, but it's a blind boxed figure that I literally paid about $5 for. I can't complain about that. I wonder if it has, yeah. Nope, the joint on the back doesn't want to work, and I'm going to start popping pieces off at this point. So, okay, maybe we'll stop doing that. Again, I really like all the printed parts on this guy, the Lancelot figure. I had a hard time getting the head to connect just because the, I don't want to say tail, I can't think of the word. It's been a long day. Anyway, the plume at the top of the helmet there definitely is kind of in the way of getting the pieces together. Shingen, I like the large version of this figure. This is just a quick repaint of the basic red one, whereas the actual metal build version of it is quite a bit different. I could not get the axe to really want to cooperate and go together flush. I'll fight with it later. My fingers are still recovering from the last kit I built. I do like the fact that they included his swords. A nice and unnecessary touch, and the connection piece wanted to come with it. Put that back there. And I mean, for the price, I mean, obviously, if you can get those Chinese prices, congratulations, because that's a pretty fair deal. Overall, they're pretty solid. I really got to give it to them. Sure, there weren't a whole lot of parts on the sprue in comparison to, like, the later models that Sembo's put out. I showed you guys the Cang Dao Raven before. Another of the kind of licensed figures. I'm assuming they're licensed because, I mean, they're just, like, spot on. And considering they're starting to then show off things for, like, Iron Saga, original models, and various other sublines and other companies' figures. So that says to me that there's definitely a market for it. Pretty similar in size. Obviously, there's a bit more coloration on the Raven. It's a later figure, more parts involved, and I know my brother, who's built a few of these from various sets, felt that of the most recent stuff, this series of Cang Dao ones, which were the latest release at the time of this filming, were definitely the most complex in terms of build and part quality. So like I showed you, everything was included in the bags, kind of like the blind box, you know, Lego minifigures. But overall, you know, they're pretty dang solid. A little bit shorter than a 1/144th. A little bit thicker and taller than a traditional SD Gundam. And definitely a good head or two taller than a Space Marine if you were to want to use it for any sort of 28mm tabletop gaming type system, of which there are quite a few. And I gotta say, with some of the up-and-coming crowdfunding projects by various artists, I know I am definitely going to be keeping my eyes on even more figures, and hopefully a good rule set to finally use all this stuff in, because it's not like I don't have any shortage of various, you know, plastic mecha kits just floating around. But anyways, I gotta say, I will be keeping an eye out for more of these Sembo kits. It's just a matter of trying to get a good price and not get completely ripped off in the process. Unfortunately, there's a lot of unscrupulous sellers out there, and so just kind of shifting through all the chaff to find those diamonds in the rough is always part of the challenge. So I know I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled. If you guys have any leads, unfortunately, I have not seen these really for sale in the West yet. I had ordered them directly from China, went ahead and used AliExpress, just had to do a lot of digging around to find a good deal. And I'm happy that I got these. So hopefully we'll see some more of this stuff soon, because honestly, I really had a lot of fun building them. So with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.